Welcome to Masters of Max, a mobile app experience podcast. Please welcome your host, Tom Buda, Chief Strategy and Marketing Officer at Airship.
Welcome to another episode of Masters of Max. Today we have the pleasure of talking with Danny Zagorski from SpotHero. Danny comes out of the product design group, so a really interesting perspective of what is a hugely valuable business.
Yeah, well, thanks for having me.
Maybe just give us the quick story on SpotHero.
We do parking, right? So our product, the way I like to think about it, I have a unique perspective at the company from my background and on the B2B side, but the product that we build and that we design and that we support is a park. So however you want to slice and dice it and think about it, what we are selling is a guaranteed parking spot for the time that you need or that the driver needs to enable their last mile or their last 50 feet and get them to where they want to go. And so being a two-sided marketplace, we have multiple types of users. We have operators, we have drivers, we have integrations that we partner with. We have third-party partners, such as Apple and a couple others that we can talk about. And we are also at a scale where we are at about 350 major markets throughout North America, including Canada and the United States.
You know, it sounds like a really great background. You know, you've had UX experience, you've had content strategy experience, you've had, consumer sort of research experience, and now you're driving product design. Does that incorporate all of that?
Yeah, definitely. So we're at the stage right now where we believe kind of the T skill set model, where we want every designer to be able to manage the entire spectrum of design. So, we call ourselves full stack designers. They do everything from discovery research all the way through to, animation, delivery, creating great design systems, management, design ops, et cetera. So they're kind of owning all that, but we do believe in a design org where we have the T skill set. So every designer can do it all to some extent, but is really good at one or two things. And when you combine all those people together, we have a design org that's really good at everything.
I think that makes a lot of sense because of something you said earlier, which I think is a fundamental truth as it relates to business today. My words, experience is the new brand, right? The experience that you have with a brand, regardless of what it does, is determining how you feel about that brand.
Yeah. We don't want skills to be a blocker to creating that experience, right? And so if part of creating that magical park or that magical experience is content, well, we have a designer on the team that is really good at content strategy and content writing, and they can go out there and coach the other designers, and we can lean on them, and we can build that into our roadmaps to help, again, create that magical park. So we believe in the squad model here, where we have various teams focused on various problem sets, problem spaces. And so magic looks a little different to them depending on your viewpoint. We have similar goals as our operators. They want to make more money, and we want to help them do that. So one of the ways they do that then is by giving us more inventory, which we can then sell. So there are very tactical things that come out of a great experience in terms of getting more inventory, in terms of giving us more of their trust and giving us more business or more ownership over their business to some extent.
Is part of that magical experience, is there dependency on the operators themselves to fulfill that?
Yeah, that's a great point that you're touching on. We're digging into that a lot more this year. So one of the ways we measure that is star ratings. And a lot of the times what we're finding is those 1 and 2 stars ratings that we get are based on things that we've originally deemed out of our control. The facility's dirty. The line was too long to enter the garage. The valet attendant was rude. Something of that nature. And what we're really leaning into now is how do we help create that, a little bit more experience? How do we create that great experience for our drivers that can then reflect positively on our operators as well and return to retention? We recently did a pretty deep analysis on, our millions and millions of parks that we've had over the years to look at what drives retention. And the number one correlation we found was star rating, actually. So The higher that star rating is, the more likely that driver is to park at that facility and return back to SpotHero again in the next 90 days. So the correlation's there, the data's there telling us that we need to be doing this, and we are starting to lean deeper into it. We know our drivers don't think about parking. We know that. We don't want them to. We want them to use us to relieve that anxiety about finding a stall or spot. We want them to have that guaranteed location that gets them to their event, that gets them to work, gets them to dinner on time. And we want to just make sure that we're doing that. And how do we use all that data to create an awesome experience for our drivers?
Besides talking to customers and getting feedback, do your teams actually become the customer, and do you use your own services, and do you try stuff? How much is experimentation built into what you do?
I was just in a garage on Monday, actually, testing out some new products we have. So when we do our testing, discovery, and actual design, we do generally try to go out there and meet the users where they are. So whether that's parking in a garage and sitting in their car, sitting in the back seat of some stranger's car and watching them go through a parking garage, has been a monthly occurrence, I feel like, to a lot of our designers. So it is a very real hands-on design experience, and I think that contributes deeply to building that empathy for what is the user actually going through. You're not going to get that from just looking at data. You're not going to see the valet stick behind our user, flicking them off because they're going too slow, right? And our app's not loading fast enough, and there's pressure behind them and horns honking. You're not going to feel that from just looking at data. So we do deeply encourage people to go out, designers, product managers, and engineers to go out there and experience it.
That's great that you do that, and I'm sure the customer experience, the user experience, the parker's experience is that much better because of it. Very cool. Well, Danny, thank you so much for your time. This has been really, really, really insightful.
Thank you. Appreciate it.